Welcome back, Pilgrim, to a world where silence, music, and politics can destroy the human mind. Today, we'll dive into one of the most mysterious chapters in Vault history, Vault 5. Although it never appeared in any official games, its imprint is scattered across several different versions and fan stories. So let's go through everything we know about it so far and put it together into one coherent story. Vault 5 first appears in the Fallout Bible. The official notes of Chris Avellone and other developers from Black Isle Studios, who originally worked on the sequel to the well-known Van Buren project, 2002 to 2003. However, it was canceled and its content never made it into any commercially released title. Nevertheless, the design of Vault 5 survived in internal documents, including details about a dark experiment that was supposed to take place there. According to these records, Vault 5 was supposed to be located in Nevada, probably in areas near Center City or New Reno. The purpose? The notes themselves refer to an experiment with constant noise. Imagine that. 24 hours a day for several years, a constant playback of random alarms, sirens, static noise, and jarring melodies. No way to turn off the speakers, no relief. The goal was to see how long an isolated community of people could withstand this continuous psychological torture. Designers at Black Isle noted that the residents' psychological resilience gradually declined to a critical level. The first cases of paranoid episodes began to appear. Violent conflicts between them escalated, and in the end, some residents even had hallucinations or suicidal tendencies. The deleted notes mention that the vault was eventually abandoned. It is unclear whether there were any survivors or whether they all succumbed to their own madness. Another version of Vault 5 can be found in Fallout, New California. This fan project from 2016 to 2017 takes place in 2260 and expands the world of New Vegas with a number of new vaults. Vault 5 in this version is hidden in Marina del Rey, Los Angeles, and its community consists exclusively of pre-war musicians and their fans. Rock and punk radicals who were previously imprisoned in the ruthless Vault Tec. Their experiment? Extremely loud music non-stop, from bass riffs to guitar solos to endless drum sequences. For the first few months, they were given headphones, but gradually the technology failed and the music became torture rather than pleasure. Vault Tec measured their stress levels, cortisol levels, sleep quality, and monitored the first cases of aggression. After 2 to 3 years without a break, the mental health of the inhabitants turned to dust. Some players of the mod find records that after the survivors were released around 2260, the formation became the faction Pirate Raider Legion of Terror Max. They left Vault 5, renamed themselves Pirate Raiders, and founded their own radio station, DETH 98.1, broadcasting rock songs and luring other raider gangs to join them. Their metal riffs thus became legendary in the Western Wasteland. But that's not all. There is a complete fan description of Vault 5 on the internet. It talks about a completely different experiment, the so-called Vault Diplomacy. According to this fan version, Vault 5 was created in 2060 in the Sacramento Mountains, New Mexico. Its inhabitants believed that they lived in an independent vault state that had to establish diplomatic relations with other vaults. The main computer, Zax, never released the facts. It made up false reports, sent robotic delegates, protectrons, and basically manipulated the entire community into believing that trade, alliances, and even wars would take place outside Vault 5. In reality, all supplies from other vaults ended up in the second basement, a secret storage area that the inhabitants never saw. ZAX was instructed to generate conflicts, from trade disputes to military threats. Trust gradually declined, and essentially the entire Vault 5 lived under the illusion that it was fighting for its survival in an international game. No one suspected that it was all just a simulation run by a supercomputer. The community even split into two factions: the Vault 5 government, those who believed Zax's stories, and the Vault 5 anarchists, who wanted to uncover the truth. When Zax allegedly issued an order to depopulate the level in the event of espionage by another vault, a few remaining anarchists hid deep in the second underground level. According to some fan discussions, this ended in purges, and many believe that Vault 5 continues the experiment to this day. Let's see which of these descriptions are semi-canonical and which are purely fan-made. 1. Van Buren Design Noise Experiment. Semi-canonical, found in internal Black Isle design documents and the Fallout Bible, but never part of the released game. 2. Fallout New California Rock Experiment. Pure fan fiction, but in it, Vault 5 works and you can visit it. 3. Fanon Wiki Vault Diplomacy. Pure fan fiction, with its own detailed mythology developed by fans independently of the official design. Added to this are a number of supplementary theories, showing the extent to which this vault is shrouded in a fog of ignorance and fantasy. Fans have come up with several complementary theories that are worth mentioning. Psychic weapon theory. Some claim that Vault 5 in the lower grounds collected victims from experiments and tested psychic weapons on them. Chemical or electromagnetic impulses that would disrupt the minds of external enemies. Predecessor to Vault 112. Others speculate that if the noise experiment failed, Vault 5 may have shifted its research to sensory manipulation, which led to the simulation in Vault 112, Fallout 3. Noise proved too primitive. VR simulation was the next step. Base for factions. After the collapse of the experiment, Vault 5 could have transitioned into a shelter for super mutants. They needed underground laboratories to develop FEV, or for the Brotherhood of Steel to carry out secret technological projects out of sight of others. A fake vault to spread paranoia. The most drastic theory says that Vault 5 never actually existed. Vault Tec created it as a psychological tool to keep the inhabitants of other vaults in fear. Even if they saved us, we would never be sure what experiment we would end up in. This plan was intended to maintain obedience in real vaults. It is therefore no surprise that Vault 5 remains a symbol of how deeply Vault Tec's projects can affect the human psyche, whether in reality or just in the imaginations of fans. Whether you believe in the Van Buren design with its insane noise, the rock hell in New California mode, or the supercomputer-controlled diplomacy on Fanon Wiki, Vault 5 is a mirror of how far human imagination and the cruelty of Vault Tec can go. Each version opens up a different aspect of psychological experiments, from torturous noise to a permanent concert of death to false political games. And so Vault 5 remains hidden in its own silence. No one knows what is happening there right now. Maybe it is abandoned, maybe music is still playing there, maybe the ZAX guard terminal screen is flashing somewhere, and maybe it simply does not exist. What do you believe? Was Vault 5 a real laboratory of tortured souls? Or just a legend that Vault Tec released into the world to control fear in its other vaults? Write it in the comments. If you found this story interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Good luck in the wasteland. See you next time at another vault.